take Earth and shrink it down to like a schoolroom globe. So now we can think of distances relative to that. And ask, how high up did Bezos and Branson go? Okay, so here's a schoolroom globe. How far away would you say?
Quarter inch.
You say quarter inch? Okay, they went the thickness of 2 dimes.
Oh.
And our boy who jumped out of a balloon some years ago.
Yeah.
What's his name? Felix Baumgartner. Mm-hmm. Thickness of 1 dime. So this idea that they're going, oh, I see the curvature of the Earth. And this, no, you don't. You don't. I'm sorry.
Did Jeff Bezos doesn't see the curvature of the Earth?
You will see the edge of the Earth, but ask how far away is your horizon when you're only that high up. You can just look at that, go to the schoolroom globe, go 2 dime thicknesses up, and then draw a line to ask how much of Earth do you see? You'll see a circle, but that's a circle cookie cut out of the larger sphere.
So it's a perspective issue.
It's a perspective issue. And by the way, the images when they showed Felix Baumgartner, where he's prepared to jump, you see this curved Earth. That's a fisheye lens, dude. Okay? Fisheye lenses take horizontal lines and bend them convex when you're above the midplane of the photo.
In order to gather in more of the image.
Correct. That's the only way you can distort it to fit it onto a flat plane, because it's looking at a full sort of 360, well, 180, all right, and it's trying to get it in. But what happens if you take that horizontal line, the horizon, and put it below the midplane of the camera? It then bends the other way. Bends the other way. In fact, I have a tweet that did this. Look for Felix and throw some keywords in there with my Twitter handle, and I have the example of the photos. So, no, he didn't see the curvature of the Earth, but you think he did, and he's high up, and what do we need NASA for, right? He's 1 dime thickness. Elon Musk authentically goes into orbit, because they didn't go into orbit. They went up and fell back to Earth. He authentically goes into orbit. So he is a centimeter. Well, not even. Let me see. Yeah, a little less than a centimeter above Earth's surface. The folks who really saw Earth were the folks that went to the moon. We went to the moon 9 times, 3 astronauts a pop. 27 astronauts have seen Earth from the moon. And that'll change you. Do you know Apollo 14 astronaut, Edgar Mitchell? I have a quote from him that opens this book. And that's all you have to read, because the whole book issues forth from that quote. All right, here it is. Edgar Mitchell, Apollo 14. You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck and drag him 250,000 miles out and say, look at that, you son of a bitch.
Edgar Mitchell also believes some wacky stuff. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've spoken with him about it. And he was one of was he co-founder of the Noetic Institute? He was a big fan of the possibility that there was a deeper level of consciousness. And I don't think it involved drugs, but just that there was a deeper level of consciousness that the brain might be capable of if subjected to the proper influences. And he told me how he came across this. Okay, I'll tell you. They're on their way back from the moon, and they're in the capsule. And the capsule rotates. It helps to stabilize it, among other reasons for that happening. And he happened to be positioned in the capsule for 3 days, where the windows to the capsule were aligned with the plane of the solar system. Which means every time the capsule rotated, what came in and out of view was the sun, the moon, Earth, and all the planets. And so he's there for 3 days watching this drift by. And he felt like he had descended or ascended into a trance state that was beyond what he had ever experienced here on Earth by normal things you encounter just being a human on Earth. And that led him to wonder whether this was an achievable state by some other means, by some other forces that you could emulate here on Earth. And because he experienced that and I didn't, who am I to say? I'm not going to judge that.
He believed in psychokinetics. He believed people can do things with their mind. He had a lot of like very strange things.
I think that the cleanest way to say that is he believed there was much more capacity of our mind than we had previously tapped.
Yeah.
And that opens up the gates to all these other things. But I was just sharing with you the experiential origins of why he thought that way.
Yeah.
But the point is that can change you. And in the chapter Earth and Moon, I talk about cosmic perspectives. As you ascend, that the Earth does not look like the schoolroom globe.
Right.
Color-coded countries. Only as an adult did I look back on that and I say, you trained me from elementary school to know who my enemies are and who my friends are by color-coding contiguous land masses on a globe to teach me about the planet Earth.
But they weren't trying to do that. They were trying to explain.
It's a consequence of it.
Geography.
I knew who the evil, godless Russia, Soviet Union was.
Right.
Okay? Their country was painted red. All right? Not ours. I knew this even if it was not on purpose. It had a subliminal effect. And when you go into space, the country borders go away, except for two places. There are two places. You can still see two borders from space. One of them in the daytime, you can see the border of Israel with surrounding deserts, because Israel irrigates. And so it's green, and the surrounding areas are brown. You can see that from space. Another border, which you can see from space at night, is, of course, North and South Korea right there.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And that's punched up. I mean, if you're in the dead of night, you don't know the difference between the ocean and the land as your sight line crosses North and South Korea. And so if you look at